Castle of Mystery. Long ago, a wizard named Olar discovered the entrance to a gold mine. Using his great powers, he built a magic castle above the mine to protect it. The lower chamber of the castle has many magical doors and is guarded by a host of monsters who are trapped in time. Can you find the entrance to the gold mine? Others have tried, but the castle thwarted them every time. Welcome back to RP Gamepire, and we are in the Castle of Mystery. In this scenario and quest, I won't be able to show you the side view, as it's better to see it from the top down, and more importantly, you won't be able to see the dice rolls and results, sadly so, because the way the map out and the layout currently is set up, it is made for where the heroes must come to the door, and it's ported because Raceland informs them that, and Raceland is one of the quest members of this group, he has informed them that this will port them to one of the doorways out there that we don't know where it will lead them. So it's totally random. So the first hero to go to the door will be Izar. And he rolls an 11. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as he enters the door, at this point, he will roll to see where it leads him to. And that is a 7. And a 7 ports him all the way right here. And as he enters this chamber, he finds the room filled with pesky little goblins. And he ends his turn right here. By the way, be informed that the heroes did go to meet up a merchant on the way to doing this quest down deep in the Dungeons and Labyrinth. So the heroes have just become much mightier. So for someone like Izar right now, he has the same as before, a 4 attack and 4 defense dice. Alright, and he's carrying the defense potion. Alright, so that ends his turn right here. We will see what Alda will want to do. And Alda will roll 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she ain't gonna do much. We're gonna have, well, Wisp is gonna take the demonic form. And she's just gonna wait right here. Raceland also has become much mightier. By the way, Raceland now has a defense of 4, by the way. And he has Heroic Brew, and he can cast spell twice. Don't mess with him. So he can stand his ground, even though he doesn't have much body points, so it's not like he can take much damage. We don't know what's lurking out there. And this portal doors might put us in a jam. So the strongest of heroes are now walking out. So we're gonna let Zargon do his turn, and Zargon is obviously gonna have this pesky little scrummy goblins attack Izar. So this goblin will come here, this one will come here, this one will come here, and this one will wait it out. Alright, so we're gonna see what possible damage, and they roll 2 attack dice. So the first goblin rolls and does 1 damage, and Izar, who defends for 4, defends amazingly so. You know, here we're gonna try to see it short here, and the second goblin does 1 damage also. Izar defends with 4 dice, and he does amazingly so too. The third and final goblin does 2 damage, and Izar will roll to that and defends that too easily with that 2 defense, and that ends the goblin cycle right here. Zargon ends his turn, and Alda will storm in, hoping she can catch up with her partner. 6. So 1, she moves closer, and she rolls now to see where she ends up, and she goes 9. And now let's see where that portal ends. She goes loving effects, and she enters this door passage, and let's see what awaits her there as she enters the room. Well, this isn't so much fun. Here appears a mummy and 3 skeletons, and as this ended her turn, Wisp wonders where she wants to go, but I think she's gonna hold off right here, scarily so. Worried though, actually, more like it. And she's gonna end her turn right there, or you know what? She, no, she's not gonna do anything. They're gonna be more defensive, in a sense, worried like where did the heroes go, and they don't want to. Now, if they happen to roll and they end up here, Isa's gonna take damage and it's gonna force her to get kicked out back into the doorway, which might send her somewhere else, and we don't want that. So, Alda just did her turn, and now it's going to be Isa's turn. And Isa is, well, he's going to go on the attack. And he's going to only attack, well, he has only a defense die, sadly so. Or what does he have? Yeah, he only has a defense die, which is kind of useless. And he's just going to attack one of them. He did 2 damage, and sadly so, the goblin only defends with 1, so it's an automatic death. Just pick 1, and that does it for that goblin. So now Alda can't do much. The other heroes don't want to do much because they're kind of worried. Yeah, they could search, but Wisp is looking at Raceland and going, really? At this point, we should be focusing on finding our allies. So this ends their turn, and now it's Zargon's turn. So Zargon's going to move in this goblin and kill the barbarian. Now this mummy is going to walk in and has a movement of 4. So 1, 2. Actually, you know what? We're going to move in the skellies first. So the skellies are going to move first because they have the closest reach. And they're going to go surround Alda. And the mummy's just going to be prepared for the next attack. So, that ends there. Now they're going to attack first. The goblins are going to go and attack. Don't forget, the enemies have a default movement, right? Unlike the heroes who have to roll for their movements. So, 1 damage by the goblin. And defended. And 1 damage again. And no defense, and Isa takes the damage. Pesky little goblin. So, he goes from 8 body points to 7. Alright. Okay. And 1 damage again. And he defends. Phew. What is pesky goblin? Now we are pretty much going to go and handle what's going on here. They attack also with 2 attack. So the first one's going to attack Alda and does no damage. The second one attacks, does 1 damage. And Alda defends with 5. And luckily defended with 1. And now is the last skeleton's turn and doesn't cause any damage. That ends Zargon's turn, which is pathetic. I might add. So now it's the hero's turn. So sadly, so he's going to, he's going to go after one of those pesky little goblins, and he does 2 damage. The goblin has 1 defense die, so it's an automatic death for one of those goblins, and it was the one right here. So that ends that, and if he wants, he can move. And the reason he would move, so that if one of the heroes, so he just can move right here, which is good enough. He doesn't need to move any further. And that's that. Now it's Alda's turn, and Alda has also 4 attack. And unlike the goblins, the skeletons defend with 2 dice. So she does 3 damage. So 3 damage is an automatic, obviously, defeat, right? And we won't. And Alda is carrying, for us to know, she has the heroic boost. She could have done 2 attacks, but she won't at this time. But she carries 2 healing potions. She's good. She's not worried whatsoever. So that ends the hero's turn. Whew. okay, and they're gonna remain where they are because we don't feel threatened, and I don't want to take a chance because we don't know what's waiting out there. So we're playing really defensive here, and that's the way Izar would want. Crazy barbarian, Raceland says, and Wisp says it's best for us. All right, so moving right along, it is now Zargon's turn. Zargon will just move this pesky goblins in to crush the barbarian, and the mummy comes. All right, so goblin number 1 rolls 2 damage. Whew, that's not nice. And 2 defended, as you can see. Well done, well done. So, and now the second goblin does 2 damage also. What the hell is this goblin? Oops. Let's not break the door down. And defended also again. So that is good. Now we're gonna go to the skeleton. Move, and Zargon will come right here, and Zargon will attack our friendly dwarf. And does no damage, so everything moves on. Izar, without delay, will take the shot. He's already in the doorway, and will port at 7, and that pretty much brings him back here, and that ends his turn in a sense of movement, and that sucks. Alda, on the other hand, she's there, and she's going to try to take a swing at this ugly looking mummy, and does 2 damage. And the mummy does defend with 4 and defends wonderfully against this attack, sadly so. Alright, Alda, nice try. Alright, now that done, it's Zargon's turn, but before Zargon can move, again, Raceland is tempted, but feels kind of fragile in a sense, because she doesn't have anything in a sense, he doesn't have, sorry, anything that could aid in an attack. And for Wisp to move on, Wisp has certain attack abilities, but it doesn't, still is the fear of they might end up somewhere there. And Alda and Izar are pretty much tanks in the world of, group making. And okay, so it's Zargon's turn. The mummy will try to attack and does 2 damage to Alda, and Alda defends. Alda now will try to attack. It does 2 damage. The mummy will try to defend and does take only 1 damage. And okay, and the mummy has, don't forget, 2 vitality, or 2 body points. It's body points. Alright, Izar will try to port himself somewhere, and he ports himself here again, and you know what, it kind of kicks him back out. Let's see where he ends up. 9 as the recent and 9, sadly so, will just bring him here, which Aldo just happened to empty the room. So ain't nothing much has changed. So now it's Zargon's turn, and the mummy is the only thing that he has, and the mummy has already 1 damage to it, and does 1 damage to to Alda, and Alda has, again, let's not forget, 5 dice to defend, and defends very well. So nothing happens there. No, it's just a swinging fest. Alda, well done. 2 damage right there. Let's see. And 2 defense. That mummy survives. So now let's see where Izar will port. And 7. Again, he just comes back and forth. It's annoying, but it is what it is. Well, it doesn't look that good, and I'm very tempted to use Raceland right now, but I'm just worried. Wisp on the other hand, she has several healing potions, so she should be good. So you know what? Let's bring in Wisp. So let's see Wisp will end up. She moves in the door then, and she ports to 9. What do you know? What do you know? She comes here. Ain't nothing happening, buddy. So that ends there. And now it's Zargon's turn, and that cranky little mummy is going to try to attack Alda and does no damage. Now it is Alda's turn. We'll try to do damage. Ooh, 3. And right now, it defends only 1, but still it dies because it had already 1 damage and the other damages kind of kill it. Well done, Alda. Now, did Alda take any damage in this case? She's on 5. Izar, please, get out of there. And he rolls a 4 now. So let's see where he ports to, and he does port. So let's see what happens here. And as he ports right here, there are 2 orcs, ugly looking orcs, that await him. Right, one is right there, and the other one awaits him right here. Okay, and that ends that. That's good to know. All right, so, and so far we have to know which doors we have accessed. So we're gonna put it like this, just to know that this is the doors that we have gone through, so that if we happen to roll it again, we know that at least we went through it. So and we have actually emptied what's in that room, whatever was in that room, that per se. So what we do know is that there is some other rooms. Okay, so Alda will try to move out of there, and she rolls a 6, and a 6 will just bring her back here. What the hell? And at this point, that ends that turn. Zargon will bring in the orcs against Izar, and let's see what they do. They roll 3 dice for attack. And this one we still don't know what's happening there. And that's 2 damage. And let's see what happens. And Izar only defends 1, so he goes from 8 to 7, which is not, well, it's okay. Again, let's see. No damage. That moves on, and everything's fine. Now Izar, which is now the group's team, because Zargon's done, rolls and does 3 damage, and the orc only defends with 2, so that's an automatic death. That settles that. Now we're gonna have Wisp and Alda move. Alda's gonna go first, and Alda rolls a 5. Now 5 ports him right off, and where? To a room not too far, and it's right here. And as he ports right there, to his surprise, guess what awaits him? A nice she just what awaits her. Sorry, Alda, making terrible mistakes there. So she ends up in this room. Okay, now Wisp is going to roll. Let's see where she's going to end up. And she rolls a 12. She just ports back. Okay, that didn't go too well. So Raisa, on the other hand, could, but I don't feel magically he is ready or strong, because he doesn't do any damage with his staff. Can't beat anybody with that stick. And sadly so, you don't have any other spells. So let me explain to you the spells he has. Raceland has Courage. And Courage, all it does is you roll 2 extra combat dice. Okay? Alright, so the next time the hero attacks, you can put an enemy to sleep, you can heal yourself, you can kind of be sneaking around, you can move a little bit faster, or make a monster miss their turn. None of it is what I want. I want to slay, kill, burn the enemies. Either ways, it is what it is. It is now Zargon's turn, and Zargon is just going to move in, and happily so, is going to go on the rampaging attack. And the first thing he's going to attack is Izar, and does 1 damage, and Izar defends with 4, and pretty much defends very well. Now it is the Dread Warrior, and the Dread Warrior, if I remember correctly, attacks with 4 and does 3 damage, and 1, 2, so Aldo only takes 1 damage. Alright. Okay. And she goes from 5 to 4. No word. Okay, now it's the hero's turn. Now, the first thing... So let's see what Aldo... Aldo's going to go first, but she's going to drink the heroic. He's here with the gold. And pretty much now, they're going to come and swamp on Raceland, and they're going to try to get on Raceland. So the first one's going to attack Raceland as a zombie, and the zombie is going to roll 2, and it does 2 attack. And Raceland already defends with 4, so he's going to defend with 6. And wow, okay. So Raceland pretty much takes, you know what I mean, 1 damage. Alright, Raceland goes from 3 to 2. And now the other, well, there's a skeleton there, but we're going to do the other zombie. The other zombie also attacks with 2 dice. And only does 1 damage. And don't forget, Raceland defend with 4. And 1 damage protected. Oh my god, this is rolls of patheticness. Guys, what's up? 2 does 1 damage. And defended. Good stuff. Okay, so that survived that wrath. Now Raceland has a choice. Okay, so he can cast 2 spells. So he can do... He's going to cast this spell of Courage, which can give him 2 extra die to roll. Okay? The zombies have 3 defense. That's the problem. Okay? And... you can use the healing potion, but if he eliminates 1, well, you're taking a chance here. They do 2 attacks, they do 4. And then... okay, let's see the mind of a zombie 0. So they're not able to defend against this. And the skill is 0. So... may not be used. You can't put them to sleep, so that doesn't help. And okay, so you know what? For now, I'm just gonna go with the extra. I'm gonna heal myself up. I'm gonna use the water of healing. All right. This spell may be cast on anyone here, including yourself. Okay, so he's gonna use that. He's gonna use also the courage. All right. Don't give me problems. And the reason for that, and he could cast 2 spells amazingly so, thanks to the... don't forget, we have the Elixir of Life. This ball brings a hero back to life, restoring all... okay. Well, we can bring one hero back to life. I guess they pre-thought this, as we got that from the former quest. So we're gonna get first. He's gonna attack. Well, the zombie defends with 3, but has 1 vitality. So we just have to hope to get at least 1 damage through. And we did 2 damage. Let's get this zombie. And the zombie doesn't defend, so we take out 1 zombie, which is very important. Now, the next spell that we did was the healing, right? So we went from 2 to 4 vitality. Alright. Alright. We're survivors. Now, we got Alda here. Alda, the only thing she has carrying is a healing potion. And you know what? She's okay unless she gets knocked out. So she does 2 damage. And finally. Alright. That has been resolved. And this room has been resolved. And you know what? Also at the same time, I think out of just to help 4. So he's just gonna move here just to be safe. We're gonna have a Alda kind of 7 1, so she moves near the door. Don't forget she moved aside, so she moves nice to the door. And then she rolls a 6, and a 6 would just bring her back where she was before, which is kind of depressing. Then we got Wisp, and Wisp will get a 7. And Wisp will just come back here. This is getting a little bit annoying. And Izar says forget it. I'm gonna roll to see if I could save anybody at 12. He just comes back there. You're freaking useless. Okay. So that ends that. Everybody has done their turn. And now it's Zargon's turn. Zargon will move them right here. And they're gonna do their attack. And the first one is the Skelly, and the Skelly only attacks with 2 and does 1 damage. Raceland defends with 2. And defends with 4 and does defend very well. Now it is the zombie's turn, and zombie does no damage. Raceland can breathe. So before Raceland does his turn, Izar will try to move. And Izar rolls a 7. As he rolls a 7, he does damage to Wisp. Thank you. Rips shouts in pain as Izar jumps on her. And she goes, and he rolls again. Because he can't land there. Because she stands in the doorway. So he rolls a 4. And a 4 will carry him all the way here. But there's nothing there. Alright, so then we have Wisp. And she rolls an 8 again. Stop porting back and forth. And Alda rolls a 5. Alright. And a 5 will bring him, wow, back to this room. Are we playing musical doors? Okay. So this is becoming annoying. Alright. So now it is, well, Rayson didn't do his turn because he's staying there. And what Rayson will do this time, because he can't put them to sleep, and his heroes or his allies are pretty much useless. This spell creates a small whirlwind that envelopes one here. Okay, so the zombie will miss its turn, and this spell may be cast on any hero. No, if you miss, the spell may cast. Okay. So the hero will pretty much stop the zombie from taking action. So let's see. So only the skeleton will attack, and the skeleton does 1 damage, and Raceland will try to defend, and we'll take the 1 damage. No comments. Seriously. And you go from 4 to 3. And hence, makes sense why we got the elixir of life. We got thrown into a Simon Says. Alright, or we call those door games. Okay, so now it's the hero's turn again. Raceland, well, let's see something. This is his next turn. Okay, so that's what happened. So Raceland, well, has only one attack die, so he can't do much. It's all one vitality, so it's a roll or a miss. So it doesn't hurt him to roll, and he rolls a hit. Now the Skelly rolls with 2 defense and doesn't defend. Luckily so, and the Skelly gets killed. Wow, Raceland. Wow. Okay, so now Izar rolls, and he rolls an 11. And 11 will just bring him here, which was already cleared. Now we got Wisp. Wisp rolls a 3. And in a 3, she comes, well, about time. No comments. And she will roll against the zombie. And she does 3 damage. 3 damage against the zombie. And yeah, the enemies are pretty much, well, the other one wiped, well, they're both killed her. Now it's the hero's turn. So let's see what Alda will do. Alda will take 8. She'll come right here easily. Then she rolls again to see where she lands. 12, she stays there. Now it's Wisp turn. Wisp rolls an 8. Now Raceland doesn't feel that safe, so we need Izar to do something. And Izar pretty much rolls a 6. And that's going to become annoying now. 6. 6. So, the way the heroes can escape here is if all roll to come here. And at this point, I think Alda should stay here until pretty much, well, Zargon's turn. And Zargon will try to, well, he's going to bring this one right here. Let's see where this one goes. And 2. Oh boy. Gonna come here, cause 1 damage to, well, what do you know, Alda. And will have to be pushed somewhere else. And that's going to be 4. And a 4 will be pushing it here alone. Alright. And that's Alda taking another damage. Where is... And... No, Alda is no longer... Alda is 6 now. Alright. This has gotten more confusing than Confucius. Alright, so... Now, that one will try to enter doorway and chase the heroes. 6 will come here. And let's see. And that's 6. 6 lands it right here on Izar. And Izar is there, so can't. So it's going to go 5. And 5 forces it to come right here. Okay, so Izar also takes a damage from this. What did you do? Nothing. But I got hit. Alright, you go to 5. Alright, so now we're going to get this freaking dwarf to move aside. Then we're going to get him to move 3. Where's 3? And 3 moves him right here. Hey. And he will try to move out of doorway, but he can't because doorway is blocked. So then it's Wisp. And Wisp will finally make it here. And she lands there. And that ends there. Now it is Zargon's turn. Zargon, that one will move 4. And remains there. This one will move 9. And 9 pretty much forces it to go right here. Okay, now it's the hero's turn. First wisp will move away. So we don't want that same issue. And now it's Izar. Izar pretty much rolled a 5. Are we playing the... And now it's Raceland's turn. And Raceland rolls a 10. Oh boy. Many rolls later, the hero finally make it all together here as, well, the chasing the red warriors are pretty much also as lost and confused out there. And amazingly so, the heroes have now pretty much ended the quest, because there's 2 ways to end the quest, but sadly so, the gold that Izar was carrying vanished and it was fool's gold. And the heroes are pretty much have left with nothing, and they're leaving the mines with nothing. Thank you very much for watching, and yes, this quest was all over the place. I think hence the Castle of Mystery, but it was more of Confucius, and I have to say the heroes have done well. Well, Alda got resurrected. She, got brutally slayed by those 2 dread warriors. But again, hence why you got the elixir of life, the previous quest, for it made sense. But then again, it was a one-time risk chance. So I hope you like the quest, and I hope you subscribe, and I'm looking forward to the next quest with you.